football so far this year. Dante Moore and this stable of running backs, Jake, it has been impressive what they have put together in the first 3 games.
It's the standard here in Oregon is they're always going to have elite offensive playmakers, but the big question mark is what were they going to get out of Dante Moore? Well, he's answered that test. What they're getting out of Dante Moore is production on par with the best of the best in all of college football, and I really believe Will Stein, he's the orchestrator of this entire offense, does a good job of spreading the ball around to all his playmakers. I would not be shocked if at the end of the season he's in the running for the Broyles Award if he doesn't even win it.
Jayden Lamar, the running back, he'll get it on first down. Huge hole left side, and he is tackled just in front of the 50-yard line, and there's a statement on the first play of the game.
What you see, and it's Jayden Lamar now, but you'll see another running back and then another running back and then tight ends and wide receivers. There's just so much pop and juice and speed. We know Oregon is known for their speed. It's a track school, but they bring that track speed down to the football field, and whether it's Lamar or someone else, a number of guys, playmakers on this Oregon offense, Jeff, they're liable to score from anywhere on the field.
Stack the line of scrimmage on first down. Moore to pass. Moore going deep. Had a man and overshot the intended receiver. Malik Benson. Starters for the Oregon offense. Dakorien Moore, Gary Bryant, Benson on the outside. Look out for Kenyon Sadiq. You had a great chat with him yesterday.
I love talking ball with him. You know I love talking to tight ends in general, but in my opinion, I got a chance to talk to the best tight end in all of college football, and Kenyon Sadiq. Doesn't even feel right calling him a tight end, though, Jeff. He's really a weapon. He does a little bit of everything.
Moore, quick pass. That's Bryant for the catch. And gets to the 40-yard line. Pickup of 13 yards and another Ducks first down. There's Will Stein. First 3 games he has called this year have been nearly perfect.
And yet they want more as a coaching staff.
There's Lamar, and he's dropped right at the line of scrimmage. Oregon State's defense gave up almost 600 yards of total offense last week against Texas Tech. Certainly they've got something to prove here. They missed 17 tackles last week.
And that's what Trent Bray, the head coach and defensive play caller, said to us. He said a lot of the mistakes are self-inflicted. It's within their own control. Certainly tackling falls into that category, and you better tackle these Oregon Ducks.
Sadiq making his way for another first down, 11 yards on that pitch and catch from Moore.
Rumbling, tumbling, stumbling. He's just, I mean, there's not an ounce of fat on his body. He's so explosive. Natural pass catcher, dangerous after the catch. He can run through you, he can run around you, or he can jump over you. And he's a great blocker. Watch where they line up and move number 18, Kenyon Sadiq, all throughout the game today.
Just watch them. Watch them.
And it's a Lamar right up the gut. Lamar brought down by his ankles. Jaheim Patterson on the stop. This is an Oregon team that knows what to do with their opening drive. That score points 180, the most with Fresno State in the FBS since 2022.
What that tells you is they're excellent on script, and that's credit to offensive coordinator Will Stein.
Back shoulder throw, Moore catch, Moore reaches. Touchdown, Oregon.
More to more, they want more. Tried this back shoulder last week against Northwestern and just fell short. This time Dante Moore comes down with it and fights and scratches and claws as he reaches and extends, and that definitely looks like a touchdown to me. Knees down, but the ball crosses the plane.
And the officials may take another look at this.
Previous play is under review.
Is the ball across the plane when that knee is down? It looks like he is, maybe the lace is short.
I think, let's see, is his knee not down yet? Not down yet. Knees down there. That is close. Okay, there's the, never mind.
Touching there.
After review, the ball did break the plane before the runner's knee was down. Touchdown.
Okay.
Officials with a quick touchdown signal there.
You need an electron microscope to look on that one, Jeff. Get down to the atomic level. But a touchdown for Dakorien Moore, and there's a lot of freshmen playing on this Oregon Ducks football team, and in my notes I consistently write down these guys are playing far beyond their age. For a freshman, Dakorien Moore, man, he's playing like a veteran.
Second touchdown reception of the year for Moore, his third touchdown overall in his fourth career game. Rivalry renewed at Autzen. 129th meeting between these two schools and an opening drive touchdown for the Ducks. Dante Moore was awfully efficient. Jaden Lamar was running like wild. Sappington kicks it away. Fair catch called for. We will see Oregon State's offense for the first time. Quarterback Malik Murphy, the Duke transfer. A lot of boom, but some mistakes there. 5 interceptions he's thrown, but he's had time to throw, Jake. He's been awfully efficient.
That's the key. He does have that it factor, and he's got the respect of Dan Lanning in this Oregon defense. I mean, I believe he was compared to Cam Newton at one point during the media availability, and he's got that big arm. He's got a rushing capability, but we know this is a team sport. Hasn't always had the best protection, but regardless, as a quarterback, you have to avoid the mistakes. He's playing closer to Jameis Winston than Cam Newton in terms of boom or bust potential.
Handed off. Hankerson met right at the line of scrimmage. Bryce Betcher was in there on the stop after a gain of 2. Starters for the Beavers, skill positions they love. Wells and Walker on the outside. Caulfield at the tight end position. They have Jacob Strand available at their left tackle. He was questionable coming in.
Yeah, it's a big area of focus today because Strand is their best offensive lineman, and Oregon State has to stay on schedule against this Oregon defensive line. You need all the best players you can get on the field.
Empty the backfield. Murphy floats it over and hammered right at the point of attack. Jerry Mixon laid the hit and forced the incompletion.
Jerry Mixon just keeps getting better and better every single week. It's been the finesse in pass coverage these past 2 weeks, back-to-back weeks with interceptions, but Josh Lapointe challenged him to be more physical, Jeff. Looks physical to me, sending a message on the crosser.
David Wells is heading to the sideline after taking that hit from Mixon. 3rd and 8.
It's the area Oregon State does not want to live in. Look at the pressure look. Let's see if they come or drop the linebackers out.
They bring 4. Murphy going up top. Murphy overshot his intended receiver. He's looking for Trent Walker. 4th down.
And the freshman Brandon Finney Jr. in coverage in that hip pocket. Perfect technique, perfect positioning. That's going to be one of the things to watch out for today. Oregon does have some youth there in the secondary. Finney is a true freshman, but he's just like Dakorien Moore, playing beyond his age. We understand that the big test comes next week against Penn State. Drew Aller and those receivers are going to test the secondary, but Finney, great coverage there on 3rd and 8 in one-on-one situations. Now check this out. Look where the punter is aligned. Only 10 yards past the... They've had trouble snapping the ball.
Got it away. They're bringing some heat too. Bryant juggles with it. Stays on his feet. He's across the 30 and out of bounds. Oregon goes on offense for a 2nd time. This is what you see a lot of during this rivalry. Family divided. A Beav on the left, a Duck on the right, a youngster in the middle. Ducks open up their 2nd possession. Great atmosphere here at Autzen Stadium as Lamar to the left of Dante Moore. Moore to pass. Moore steps up. He's got some room and leans to the 40-yard line.
Pretty impressive stat. There's not been a single sack allowed by Oregon's offensive line this entire season. That's not just on the offensive line. What you saw there, Dante Moore, especially on 1st and 10, didn't wait to see the routes developed. He felt Oregon State's defense sink and just took the yards on the ground.
Another back shoulder throw. He's got
goodness.
Dakorien Moore with another great catch and a 1st down for Oregon. 2nd catch for Moore, and that's another back shoulder beauty.
And this is what I'm saying. When the best players, Dante Moore, they make it look easy. That's a back shoulder throw on par with the best players, even in the NFL. And you talk about that's so important to have great chemistry and feel. And Dakorien Moore being a true freshman, it's a real positive sign that he's already on the same page there with his quarterback, Dante Moore.
4 straight completions for Moore. Handed off to Lamar. Lamar hit. shed one and then gang tackled by Oregon State at the 40-yard line. Their initial contact came from Aiden Sullivan, junior linebacker.
It looked like number 7, Dexter Foster, also got in there, and you know that's going to be the key today. You mentioned the missed tackles, 17 missed tackles against Texas Tech last week. You're just not going to win against anyone, but certainly not the Oregon Ducks. And it's important to win the line of scrimmage, win those early downs. That was an opportunity for Dexter Foster to push Oregon backwards. But Lamar was able to break the tackle and turn it into a positive.
Here's a shot downfield again, and couldn't hang on to it. And we're looking for Dakorien Moore again. Had a step, almost a spectacular catch.
Yeah, that's number 8, Vindrawale, in coverage. Nearly, I mean, it's a good ball, but a great ball and a perfect ball would have been floated on the outside shoulder. Dakorien Moore did a good job of giving Dante that field out to the sidelines. If Dante could have that one back, I think he would have put that more on the outside, the left shoulder of Dakorien Moore.
Ooh, ball is deflected. Zakiah Saez got his hand in there, and it forces a 4th down for the Ducks. Almost went the other way.
There's number 10, Saez, and he reads the screen. See, once that offensive line clears you out, we had a lesson in defensive linemen. They say no free lunches. So if they're not blocking you, read the screen and bat it down. A good job by Saez.
4th down and 7, and the offense is still on the field for Oregon.
Look at this coverage. Looks like it's 0 coverage by Oregon State. It's going to be one-on-one coverage up top.
Bringing pressure. Moore gets rid of it, hit and dropped, and Oregon State holds. 4th down stand. Ducks and Beavs sitting arm to arm at Autzen today. Salahidin Allah is the running back. Allah gets it, tries the left guard, and Stonewall maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. Jake, your keys to the game sponsored by Modelo.
Yeah, so when you're talking about the making of an upset in a lopsided rivalry game like this for Oregon State, you got to generate takeaways. You have to first force Oregon to make mistakes. It was a good start there, forcing Oregon to have a turnover on downs defensively. And we'll come back to it in a second, but Oregon, the big message that Dan Lanning stated this week was winning the line of scrimmage, not just on defense, but on offense. Felt they didn't do a good enough job against Northwestern and will need to do that going forward, especially against Penn State next week.
Audible up the middle, breaking a tackle and getting a 1st down with a good run, pickup of 11.
So yeah, back to the keys there, Jeff. There it is, really. Oregon winning those early downs and winning the line of scrimmage. Dan was fiery in his post-game interview with Jenny Taft from Fox. Northwestern won the battle on the ground. I mean, it was a good game in some sense, but not to their standard. And it's going to matter today against the Beavers, and it'll matter even more next week on the road against Penn State.
Murphy throws incomplete. Wells back on the field after he got crunched on the first play of the game for Oregon State's offense. Missed catch, 2nd down. Allah gets the carry and ankle tackled. Tatum Tuioti makes the tackle. 3rd down coming up for Oregon State. The defensive front, you can't say enough about Uiagalelei and Washington and what they've put together so far this year.
Yeah, but Tuioti, even on the other side, probably one of the more underrated edge rushers in our conference. I expect a big game out of the linebacker, number 28, Bryce Betcher. You listen to him talk about this rivalry. He's a local kid, loves to play in this game, and here's an opportunity for the Oregon defense to show up on 3rd down.
Timeout, Oregon State.
Timeout, Oregon State. Their first of the half.
Trent Bray uses his first timeout. Our trivia question today is sponsored by T-Mobile. Oregon State meet for the 129th time today, most of any in-state FBS rivalry. Who's second? It's an open-ended question. You can throw out whatever you like. Got any guesses you want to run out there,
Well, I'm wondering, I played in Michigan State, but that seems too easy and too obvious. So I don't think that's it.
How about we go a little north, Apple Cup, Washington State.
Another good one, yes.
Third down coming up for Oregon State. Pressure coming. They set up the screen. It's dialed up beautifully. Hankerson out in the open field, brought down first down, Oregon State.
It's a great play call by Ryan Gunderson, feeling the pressure. You see all those black jerseys at the line of scrimmage. Tosh Lapoy is bringing the blitz. And Ryan Gunderson, you want to throw a screen into the pressure. Oregon did not see that coming, and a nice play call, nice first down by Hankerson.
Murphy all by himself, wide open catch, and there's going to be a flag. Walker made the play.
That was a really nice play call on third down, though, by Gunderson.
Ineligible player downfield offense. Number 71. 5-yard penalty.
Somewhere there on the offensive line. Right there. Yeah, there he is. That's the danger with RPOs and play action, and that's the danger for Oregon State's offense in general.
Going backwards, penalties have killed their offense all year long. Hankerson bleeding his way forward close to the 40-yard line. Still behind the sticks. 2nd and 13. Handoff, Hankerson right side. Lots of room. Hankerson in the open across the 25-yard line.
They love this outside zone scheme, and this is a really nice job. You see the right guard, center, right tackle. That's number 56, Dylan Sikorsky, looking for work because there was no one there. And a good job by Hankerson. He's a one-cut runner, pushing it laterally with the outside zone. One cut through the hole and down the seam, and a nice chunk run play for the Beavers.
Trying to get this ground game going. They average 71 yards a game on the ground. Hankerson again, a jump stop, and picks up 2. Ala checks into the backfield again for Oregon State. And everybody moving except for the center. Left side of the offensive line got the call.
Yeah.
False start. Offense. Number 8. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
It seemed pretty arbitrary just to pick on Bryce Caulfield for jumping.
Pick your poison. I mean, look, you're on the road. This is a rivalry game. You're looking for your first win. You're playing one of the best teams in college football. You're putting together a drive, and now the second key penalty that stalls your momentum. It's so much to overcome.
Get to the outside. Ala trying to get to the corner. He will, and pushed out of bounds. Murphy right side wide open, caught. They'll mark him down at the 1-yard line. Taz Reddix could have backed into the end zone, couldn't keep his feet under him. It's 1st and goal for the Beavers.
This is a blown assignment by Oregon secondary. Not sure what happened. Oregon not able to get any pressure, and you know, that's someone's responsibility. I don't know if it's Jaden Candy, number 22, not passing it off. I don't know if it's supposed to be a safety over top, but one thing I do know is you better cover wide receiver down in the red zone.
From the 1-yard line, 1st down and goal. They go shotgun and now go under center for Murphy. Handed off up the middle. Hankerson not going to get there. Stonewalled. Aaron Flowers, part of the tackle.
Flowers and Bryce Betcher, I'm telling you, I can't wait to watch number 28 play like a man possessed today. It was emotional to listen to him talk about this rivalry. Brooke Fletcher talked about it down pregame, how he pulled out a lawn chair and just reflected on what this rivalry means down in a goal line situation. That's when your linebackers have to come alive. A nice tackle there by Betcher.
I formation. Jake Reichel in the game as a fullback. Drive that has lasted almost 7 minutes. Handed off again. Head down. Hankerson. Did he get across? No, they're going to mark him short. Did he get in?
That looked like a touchdown to me. Looked very similar to Dakorien Moore with the electron microscope there, Jeff. They might review this.
That was Flowers again, who got his helmet on it. They put the nose right in front of the goal line.
I'm shocked they're not taking another look at this.
13th play of the drive. Murphy hands off. Hankerson walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Oregon State. That was a drive of beauty from the Beavers.
No doubt, no doubt. Penalties aside, I mean, they fought. I mean, they overcame those mistakes. And when you think about these rivalry games, Jeff, and Oregon is a heavy, heavy favorite. Obviously, two programs in completely different positions. The first 10 minutes of the football game are critically important just from a mental standpoint. That drive right there, and it started with the 4th down stop. So critical for Oregon State's confidence in this game.
Ojeda kicks it through to tie the ball game 7-7. We'll be back in 30 seconds. All right, flashback to 2009. LaMichael James with 3 touchdown runs. Kenyon Barner iced the game with a 5-yard run. That was on a 4th down play to give Oregon a 4-point win and hold off Oregon State here at Autzen Stadium. After the touchdown drive, Oregon State will kick it away. I know we've had a lot of time to think about our trivia answers, so why don't we get our answer? Oregon State meet for the 129th time today, most of any in-state FBS rivalry. Who is second? Are you going with Jake? Cincinnati and Miami of Ohio, 128 times.
Man, I'm ashamed to admit this because I grew up in Ohio. I don't even know that they were rivals. It's kind of crazy.
You're a little further north
I'm
than
thinking,
Columbus,
yeah,
that's why.
my rivalry was, my mental capacity for rivalries was consumed by Ohio State, Michigan. Cincinnati and Miami. They're also just a short car ride away, similar to Oregon State.
That's right. Handed off to Lamar on 1st down. Lamar through the left side, chugging his way through and finally tripped up right near the 40-yard line. A good gain of 15 yards for Jaden Lamar. Here are the most played rivalries. Minnesota-Wisconsin, number 1, 134 times. They'll match up after Thanksgiving this year. Oregon State, North Carolina, Virginia, Auburn, and Georgia. An SEC submission there. Of course, Cincinnati and Miami of Ohio. 129th meeting. Two schools separated by just 47 miles, Oregon and Oregon State. Time winding down in this first quarter. Handed off again to Lamar and knocked down.
So there is when you think about rivalries, there's a significant portion of really the deciding factor of these games that's mental and emotional. There's a spiritual aspect. We talked about how great of a drive that was for Oregon State. Now this is an important drive for Oregon to get settled back in and try to seize some of that momentum back. And so far they're leading on the ground game here.
Put Bryant in motion. Pressure coming. Ball tipped, almost intercepted. Conrad Hussey got his hands in there, the newest Oregon State Beaver.
And Dante just didn't see him. He's trying to hit Sadiq on the crosser, and Sadiq had his man, number 17, Skylar Thomas, beat. But as you said there, Conrad Hussey, he was kind of waiting as a hole player in a robber. Dante just did not see him, and almost an interception.
Just came to Corvallis after his issues at Florida State and immediately into the lineup. Conrad Hussey saw that ball tipped at the line of scrimmage as well. 3rd down for the Ducks. Moore escapes. Moore right down the middle. A flag comes out. Moore slides at the 1st down, but it looks like this one's coming down.
Holding offense. Number 76. 10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Isaiah World, that's their first penalty of the day for Oregon. Didn't have any last week.
Looking like there he is right there. Big number 76, 6'8". You see he's got his arm wrapped around and hugging him. It's an easy call for the official. Let's see what the play call is here for Will Stein, backed up on 3rd and 16. Don't have to snap it.
They just let the first quarter run out, and that's what the Ducks are going to do. 7-7 on our way to the second quarter in Eugene.
Second quarter about to get underway with the game tied. Coach, Oregon State finding ways to bring the pressure on both sides of the ball. How do you adjust?
Yeah, we just got to play our game. Right now, they've had some success. We're giving up some cheap runs, and we got to make sure we're not getting penalties offensively and we're converting on thirds. When we're on time, when we're efficient on first down, we're going to have success. Right now, we're backed up. We're going to make a big play in this moment.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it.
Big third down coming up for the Oregon Ducks. Start of the second quarter in Eugene. A perfect day for football in Oregon. Moore to pass. Moore had it deflected at the line of scrimmage. Second tip ball of this drive. And the Beavers force a punt. Nico Taylor looked like he got his hand in there.
Yep, he's their best defensive lineman. He leads the team in pressures, and there he was able to get home and get right in Dante Moore's face. But really, it was great coverage in the back end. That was just good team defense on third down. There was no one open.
James Ferguson Reynolds to kick it away. Just his 5th punt. Walker let it go out of bounds. We got a special guest up with us in the booth in this 7-7 game as we start this second quarter of action. We got Kenyon Barner with us. We just watched your run back in 2009. You've been part of the tailgate show. You love this rivalry, don't you?
Man, this is one of the greatest rivalries in all of college football, one of the longest existing ones. And being here, being entrenched in this community, you understand how important it is and how valued this game is. So to be able to play a part in this and come out on top 4 years in a row, I can't complain.
What's the emotions like when you speak about the importance? Give me the emotional spectrum of when you take the field for this game.
Man, you truly understand how important it is, the magnitude. It's almost kind of like Cowboy and Eagles, right? The Eagles fans, they'll tell you all season long, it doesn't matter if you lose every game, beat the Cowboys. Here it's the same exact thing. So the emotions of knowing you got to win, bragging rights, being right up the road, there's a lot that goes into it.
What's your favorite memory from this rivalry?
So many moments, whether it was LaMichael James or Jeremiah Masoli, Darren Thomas, even Jaquiz Rogers going to the other side of the field, James Rogers. There's so many, but obviously the game the War of the Roses, that 4th down, probably one of the biggest plays of my career.
It's a 4th down pickup. We were just watching it. Getting to the outside, we got a 2nd down and 9 for Oregon State on their 3rd drive. Just forced the Ducks to punt. Murphy to pass. Murphy has a catch. He threaded that one beautifully to Wells for a 1st down for Oregon State.
And that was an absolute strike by Malik Murphy. And this is what Dan Lanning was talking about. This guy has arm talent with the best of them in college football. It's a tight window. Not just for Oregon's defense. It looked like there was another Beaver wide receiver in the air, but that ball had some serious juice coming off Malik Murphy's hands.
Key, he had time. When he's on time, he's been really successful this year. Handed off to Ala, and he is dropped. To Yodi on the stop.
All right, let's go back down memory lane here, Kenyon. And memory lane as in the first touchdown of the day. So there's Dakorien, but who's that celebrating at the bottom of the screen? We're going to see it. There you go, looking fresh with the white shoes.
Yeah, it looks like a duck right there. That's what it looks like. Man, that kid is special. One of a kind, a guy that makes plays each and every day, and we're starting to see more of it throughout the season.
Did you want to put on a helmet and pads in that moment? It looked like you did.
You're an athlete. You played it. You know what it's like. Absolutely.
Put it in the belly of Hankerson. Pushes forward for a gain of maybe 2. Brings up 3rd down for the Beavers. You could put on pads right now. You're still in great shape.
Listen, I got 2 boys. I got to stay ready, okay? I got to stay in the weight room. One day they're going to try me, and I got to be ready.
Big 3rd down coming up.
That's what this defense has to do more of. We have to see them consistently stop the run how they just did on these last couple of runs.
That's what Dan Lanning said. That's what Tosh LaPoy said. I think that's going to be the deciding factor for their season.
Murphy down the middle, and it's intercepted. Kingston Lopa comes away with the interception, and now side judge coming in and saying incomplete pass. Incomplete pass. It brings up 4th down.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass, 4th down.
Talk about taking some momentum off the balloon.
Looked like it went, right through his hands. But really, why did that ball sail on Malik? It's something we've highlighted a few times on this drive. There was pressure in his face. When he's kept clean, he does have that rocket ship attached to his shoulder. But that time, the defensive line was able to get pushed. They fell right into his base, his throwing platform, and the ball sailed on him, a near interception for Kingston Lopa.
A.J. Windsor will kick it away. Gary Bryant is back deep.
Really important to watch this. You see Oregon, they're coming after it.
Off the side of his foot. Bryant again with the second bobble. Oh, the Beavers covered beautifully. The Ducks are going to have really tough field position from the 8-yard line. We got more with Kenyon Barner coming up. He was having some fun earlier today on the tailgate show. Dance with the Oregon band. He's got moves, not just on the field, but off.
Got to get out there and have fun with your guys.
Look at that beauty. 7-7 Oregon and Oregon State. 129th meeting between these two teams. We got Kenyon Barner with us. And Kenyon, you have such a stable of running backs right now at Oregon. It almost hankers back to the days that you were here.
Listen, we have never had the depth at running back that this team has. They have a 7-man rotation from starting with Noah to Jaden, Jay Harris, Dier, Jordon Davison, all these guys. They have a stable, and it's absolutely insane to watch all these guys get out and perform the way that they are.
Got Mekhi Hughes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's on the field right now. His first run of the ball game. Put it in his stomach, and he gets across the 10-yard line, pushing those legs across the 15. Terps 4-0 as they upset Wisconsin in Wisconsin. Short gain, and they're going to push the pile and give a first down to Oregon. So a gain of 4 on the play.
This is what it's less sexy than the explosive plays, but I think it's what makes Oregon so dangerous as a team, where all of a sudden this game is closer than maybe anticipated and expected. You want to get settled into the game, and they have the ability to get in and play big boy football and just run the ball at you.
Moore to pass. Moore flushed out. He's going to run, and he's brought down.
I like to see that.
Picked up 4. Got pancaked. Thomas Collins.
That looked nasty.
Absolutely. That hit to the back of the head is a dangerous hit.
Yeah.
Dangerous hit.
But he popped right back up. Players just talk about Dante's leadership. He's not a vocal guy. He's not a rah-rah guy, but I think that play is an example of maybe, what do the kids say, his aura? They just gravitate to him.
I like what you did there. Run. No. Keep going outside.
Yeah.
Keep going outside and you're still running.
How about a running back saying, no, pull it back? You never hear that.
It sounds better coming from you than me.
Oh, you got to keep going outside on that. You're still running right now.
That's what it feels like, though. It's just a block or a shoelace tackle away from breaking one. Dante had Malik Benson to start the game. Looked like it was going to be an explosive touchdown. Just haven't been able to connect on some of those explosive plays.
Kenyon, they know you're in the booth. They're putting it in the running back's hands.
Listen, I love it. I love to see it. I'm all about running the rock.
Moore to pass again. Moore across the middle. Catch. It's like Sadiq. Nope. What do you see here on this run by Lamar?
Yep. Listen, if you look at you got a kick out block, that guy's not going to be able to make that tackle. You're making that an easy tackle for 13, cutting it up. Stretch that out, get outside, and you're still, like I said, you're still running. He would have hit his head on the goalpost.
Now they're taking a shot. They got a man. Incomplete. Dakorien Moore, the intended receiver.
This was a
step.
Yeah, great release at the line of scrimmage. Look, that's what I'm talking about when I say this guy is playing like a veteran rather than a true freshman. And what I would like to see here for Dante Moore, not a lot of guys can run with Dakorien. He's got explosion. Put more air on the football. Let him run underneath it because that's wide open at the college football level.
Even with that, Jake, that ball touch your hands, you got to have it.
Right.
Got to have it.
Well, and talking to Dante, he said this was an emotional week for him. When he was at UCLA his freshman year, he had a really bad game against the Oregon State Beavers and wanted to come out here and play a much better game.
So 3 Beavers bringing down Kenyon Sadiq. 3rd down again after a gain of 2. This Oregon State defense, they had a lot of holes in the first 3 weeks. They've looked good in this first half so far.
Yep.
Ken, that's the great thing about this rivalry. It doesn't matter what your record is or what you were the game before or the weeks before. When you get to this game, it's going to bring the best out of you, and we're seeing that out of Oregon State.
That dummy snap count, Dante's able to see. It looked like Oregon State was bringing pressure. Now they're checking out of it, maybe playing more zone coverage.
Moore goes to the outside.
Wow.
Nice
Beautiful
throw
ball.
and a great catch by Benson to move the sticks.
I love the chess match in the game of football. Dante Moore checks to this because he sees them bringing pressure, and that's been his go-to guy. Malik Benson, the transfer from Florida State, #1 on the team in targets. Dante Moore said he's his best friend. So they got a great relationship, and Malik Benson has had quite the journey to get here, but having the best season of his career so far.
Fresh set of downs for the Ducks. Lamar tries to get to the outside, hit by 1, and a pair of Beavers bring him down at the 40-yard line. Cord Shaw with the initial hit. JoJo Johnson finished the ball. Oregon's going backwards. They have not had a lot of negative plays this year. Moore goes to the corner, and the jump ball caught. There's Benson again.
So pre-snap, that was the look all the way. Oregon State was in press man, one-on-one coverage, single high safety. There's no safety help over top. Look at the ball location and accuracy. Dante Moore throws that back shoulder fade as good as anyone in college football, probably better than a lot of NFL quarterbacks. It's one of the things he does best. And going back to his favorite target, Malik Benson.
Coverage was not bad from Glasper, the freshman corner.
Great
play
defense.
by Benson.
Great defense, just a better play.
Yeah. And the location on those back shoulder fades has been lights out today.
From the 29, Lamar slips through the first wave and picks up 8.
These Oregon wide receivers are technicians. It's a good release, but like you guys said, it's actually great coverage. But when the ball, that's a perfect ball. These back shoulder fades, you don't want to throw it 10 feet in the air, but about 8.5, 9 feet, like a rebound effectively. Malik Benson goes up to get it. He's got that long speed, track speed. And Dante did a great job of giving him a chance to come down with that.
I was up here during spring ball and got to see Malik practice, and I'm so happy to see the consistency that he's coming with, because this isn't where he was during spring ball. So to see this, it's a beautiful thing for this team.
Moore end zone, Sadiq, touchdown Ducks. Talk about a beautiful pass. That was one right there.
And great scheme by Will Stein, just the whole drive. A beautiful drive. Start off just running the ball. Hey guys, calm down. Let's settle in. Dante gets settled down. There's your tight end. Watch it. So there's play action right here. And Sadiq, it almost looks initially like he's coming out to block. But then he's got that speed, that freaky speed that he turns on in the open field and walks in for a touchdown. Just a great play call. Great play calling throughout the drive by Will Stein.
3rd touchdown of the year for Kenyon Sadiq. Capped a 92-yard touchdown drive. Sappington kicks it through, and the Ducks are back on in front by 7. Kenyon, it's been a pleasure having you up here, man.
Absolutely.
Enjoy your time.
Appreciate you guys.
Kenyon Barner joining us up in the booth. And a 92-yard touchdown drive for the Ducks. Moore was nearly perfect on it, 5 out of 6, including the touchdown to Kenyon Sadiq.
And I loved what Will Stein did on that drive. Dante kind of struggled to see some of the coverages throwing over the middle of the field. So let him throw one-on-one balls on the outside where there's no doubt what the coverage is and his talent could shine.
Returnable for the Beavers. David Wells hammered at the 20-yard line. It's the second time that he has been crushed by a Duck defender. Will Stratton, backup linebacker, delivered the blow. So Malik Murphy back on offense for the Beavs.
Another important drive here. Approaching that thought process where you're, after this drive, it's a potentially 2-minute situation. So if you're Oregon State, really would like to avoid giving the ball back to Oregon.
Hankerson on the carry, picks up 5. They've had some space to run the football. That's been an issue. We've talked about it in previous drives for Oregon's defensive line.
And it's really not been a strength for Oregon State. So you would think going into this game, I certainly thought Oregon, this was an opportunity to dominate the trenches. But Oregon State they're winning at the point of attack. They're able to get movement. The running backs are doing a good job with their patience and finding those seams. That is the key today and the key going forward. If Oregon wants to reach their goals, that they have to stop the run and win at the line of scrimmage. Right now, the Beavers are winning that battle.
Hankerson goes right guard again, brings up 3rd down. Devon Jackson on the stop from his linebacker position. 4.5 minutes to go in this first half.
It's number 1, Bear Alexander, the transfer. He's right here, right behind the official, lined up over the center.
Murphy running the option. Murphy's going to keep it. Murphy, I'm not sure he got there. Betcher came in and laid him out. They gave him the 30. Might be enough for a first down, and it will be. Just enough.
Dakorien Moore's touchdown. Last drive, Hankerson on the near touchdown, and I mean, that's close. I don't know that it quite got there, but doesn't matter. They gave it to him. It was a good play call there by Oregon State, too, running away from the noise in the middle of the defense.
Handed off Hankerson again. Met maybe a gain of 1.5 yards.
Dan Lanning talks about it. All the coaches talk about winning that middle 8 of the game. We're now inside of it. Those 4 minutes going into half and out of half often decide these close games.
And the quarterback, Gabari Johnson, is in the game. They're going to run the sweep to the outside. Blockers in front. Goes outside and then hit and dropped again. Betcher is all over the field.
Well, we know this game means so much to Betcher. Expected a big game out of him. I feel like he's all wherever the ball is, that's where you're going to see Bryce Betcher. Look how much ground he covers here. That's Reddick's the wide receiver. He's got speed running all the way out to the sideline, but Betcher with the relentless pursuit showing up big time.
Coming up on the 2-minute timeout, and I tell you, Dylan Thieneman did a nice job sealing the outside so that Reddick's couldn't get there. Oregon State's going to hold off until a 2-minute timeout. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Beavers are moving. 3rd down coming up. Rivalry 129 times over. 14-7 Ducks. Big 3rd down coming up at the 2-minute timeout at Autzen Stadium in Eugene. A perfect day for football.
This is Trent Walker, their number 1 wide receiver. Really hurt Oregon in their matchup last year. The go-to guy in these situations.
Murphy tries to get to the outside. Some contact. No flags. No nothing. Looking for Reddick's 4th down coming up.
He was throwing way out to the left sideline. Those are not easy throws, especially with the zone. But watch Trent Walker running a little hook route right at the sticks. He was actually open. See, Oregon drops into that deep zone. Number 7, Obadegu. So if Murphy was staying on that side, he could have banged one quickly on Walker's shoulder, but didn't see him.
Kick is away. That's a beauty.
Wow.
And it bows into the end zone. 66-yard kick for a touchback from Windsor.
On Dante Moore on the sidelines, and he's becoming more vocal as the game goes on, going over to the different position groups for offense, saying what he likes, what they can do better. And he told me this week how he's just grown as a leader, understanding each teammate and what's the right way to push them. You can tell they're starting to get on the same page, guys.
Great stuff, Brooke, and that's all a product of being in the system a year ago. Played very little behind Dylan Gabriel, but now rising to the occasion, and now gets to run the 2-minute drill with 1:48 to go from the 20-yard line. De'Air Hill, his first action. He gets it on the pitch. Hill, home run and hitter, slips one and out of bounds near the 30-yard line.
It's immediately apparent when he touches the ball that he's just got a different gear to him. Home run hitter is the perfect word to describe, but no rush on this drive. There's plenty of time. Oregon with all 3 of their timeouts. Nice start to the drive there with the 7-yard chunk run.
Hill had a 66-yard touchdown last week at Northwestern. Ooh. Handed off to Lamar. Gets a first down. Clock will stop as he goes out of bounds. Took out the shoes of Zakiah Size.
Watch that right there over the slot receiver down at the bottom hash. Bryant was coming in motion. I didn't get the number, but that looked like a beaver was offsides. Guess not.
Lamar back in there. Moore back to pass. Moore with time now flushed out. He's going to run. He's got all day to run with Sadiq in front of him. Moore out of bounds inside Beaver territory at the 38-yard line, a pickup of 28.
Great job by Dante Moore. Isaiah World felt the spin move by Oregon State's pass rush and kind of sealed off the edge. Dante Moore stepped up and had nothing but green grass. And Sadiq, I mean, we've talked about his blocking. He's one of the best blockers in all of college football. Just whiffed on that one. Otherwise, there was probably some more room for Dante Moore to run.
Longest run of the game for either team is Moore under center. Handed off. Lamar runs into a gang of Beaver tacklers. Skylar Thomas, first one to get his hands on him. Moore across the middle. Lamar with a catch. Lamar slips, stays on his feet inside the 25-yard line for a duck first.
Get that first down. The clock stops. Protecting all those three timeouts. Lanning choosing not to go with one here.
Clock ticking. Moore to the outside. Moore another back shoulder throw to Dakorien. Moore stays in bounds. First and goal for the Ducks. Moore to Moore. The connection's beautiful.
Man, the connection is absolutely beautiful. Those back shoulder fades. He has not missed once today.
Clock ticking. Moore to the outside. Wrapped up. McClellan made the catch, but they lose yardage. And a timeout is used.
Don't understand the play call there. Let's see what Will Stein does after the break.
And we'll see another timeout. Oregon State will take the timeout back in 30 seconds. 14 touchdowns, 2 field goals, as you see.
It's number 1 in all of college football, and look who's in the game at running back. Number 0, Jordon Davison, the battering ram, 6 foot, 236 pounds, true freshman.
Got 5 touchdowns on the year, and he's got a tight end, Zach Grace, in front of him. Give it to Davison, touchdown. Finds the end zone yet again, his 6th.
You know, there's an art to scoring down inside the 5. It's a muddy picture. None of that applies to that run. That was great blocking by Oregon's offensive line, tight ends. They're bringing in extra bodies. Sadiq had a nice block there. You got a fullback clearing out white jerseys. And 6 foot, 236 Jordon Davison didn't need to use any of that size on that run. Touchdown Ducks.
80 yards in 87 seconds.
1 yard per second.
Pretty good ratio there. Sappington kicks it through. 21-7 Oregon. Quack, 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 quack. It's a lot of push-ups. 21 of them. 21 points for the Ducks in this first half. I don't know. You got to get a little more arm bend in there. I'm not going to count those all the way. Sappington kicks it off for Oregon. Touchback. Oregon State's going to get the football coming out of halftime. They have one timeout left. Handed off Hankerson. And he's dropped right at the point of contact by Tuioti. Come alive.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is the rivalry game. This is what's to be expected. It's going to be a dogfight, and there'll be a dogfight here coming in the second half.
All right, let's go downstairs with Brooke Fletcher.
Coach, how'd you see Dante take command of this offense?
Yeah, did a great job with his feet there on the scramble. I mean, executing the plays that we're asking him to execute. They're getting handsy outside when it comes to our vertical plays, so we're winning on back shoulders.
How do you continue to keep this Oregon State offense in check?
Yeah, stop the run. We got to run the ball effectively on offense. We got to stop the run. We're doing that in the second quarter. We got to do it the whole game.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Oregon and Oregon State. Battle for in-state domination, 129th time between these two schools, and the Ducks take a 21-7 lead into halftime. 21-7 Oregon. They lead in-state rival Oregon State. 129th meeting between these two universities. Beavers will get the football coming out of the break. Hi again, everybody. Autzen Stadium. We've got Jake Butt, Brooke Fletcher down in the field. Jeff Levering with you. Thanks again for being with us. And Jake, it was the second quarter that put the Ducks out in front. They finally started to find their offense, running the football, and Dante Moore stepped up.
Dante Moore is so special, but to build off the Big Ten impact research right there, the subduction zone was the offensive line of Oregon able to run the ball, get Dante Moore settled in, and also the subduction zone defensively. The Oregon defensive front was able to slow down the Beavers' run game. So we'll have to see if that continues in the second half. Really, when Oregon State has been able to move the ball, it's because they've been able to run the ball.
So glad you were watching the big impact research piece about subduction zones.
What do we say? You're going to learn something when you tune into the Big Ten Network.
I'm always learning something from you, Jake. That was excellent. Well done.
You make me blush.
Back through the end zone, a touchback. Let's go downstairs with Brooke Fletcher.
Bryce Betcher, what an incredible first half for him. 9 tackles. But listen, tackles is what Bryce does best. So much that they've actually had to have him turn it down a notch at practice early on in his career, man. He was going after everyone. The punter, if you were out on the field, Bryce was coming at you. Dan Lanning told me that he had to kind of punish him, made him run laps just to say, hey, Bryce, you've got to calm down. Dante Moore told us a funny story coming into this season. He said he hadn't been tackled since his freshman year at UCLA. He said that I told Bryce to come after me, maybe hit me just a little bit. He said all it took was one time, and he said, Bryce, no more. This guy, he plays with intensity. You love to see it.
9 tackles in that first half, as you mentioned. Murphy throws on first down. It's batted down. Jerry Mixon got his hand on it. Third time that he has had a ball batted today.
That's what he specializes in. He's got those instincts. He was all over the field last week against Northwestern. Back-to-back weeks with an interception, and got his hands on one there to open the second half. Bryce Betcher, though, he's a bully, but that's what you want out of your linebackers. He's not a bully. He's a great guy.
I'm saying his name a lot. He can be a bully inside the white lines.
Yes.
Quick pass to the outside. Trying to slip through his Reddix. Gets out to the 31-yard line. Third and manageable for Oregon State.
Just want to highlight him because we haven't said his name as much as I would have expected. Dylan Thieneman, a good job coming down there in space, open field tackle, and forcing a third down.
Murphy steps up. Murphy throws across his body. Had a man open. He could have run for it as well. He tried to hit Reddix on the run. Brings up fourth down.
Reddix was wide open. That's the second time. Remember, Reddix was wide open. They dropped him down in the red zone. And once again, he's just running this post route, and it looks like there's a little bit of confusion passing him off. Aaron Flowers was the backside safety and came over top on that, but You know, if Reddick's maybe could have sat down and settled in the zone, might have had a first down there.
Windsor with a good boot. Bryant makes the catch on the fly this time. Bryant past the 25-yard line and slung down. Dante Moore takes the field again. He has been an ace on these back shoulder throws in the first half.
You know, when you watch Steph Curry shoot a three-pointer, it never touches the rim. It looks effortless and easy. That's what I feel when watching Dante Moore throw these back shoulder fades. A lot of quarterbacks, they simply can't do it. This is an art and a skill almost separate from every other throw. And it takes and requires great chemistry from your quarterback to your pass catchers. I think the good sign is he's doing it with Dakorien Moore. He's doing it with Malik Benson. So he just has an innate ability to put the ball exactly where it needs to be on those back shoulders, and it doesn't matter how good the defense is because it's going to be a better throw.
A couple of freshmen in the backfield. Get it to the outside. That's Hill on the carry.
I give credit to the Beavers. They came to play today. They're making this a fight. It's a fun rivalry game. A very important drive for the Beavers defensively here to open the second half.
Davison alone, setback. To pass, Moore looking deep, steps up, spins out of it, and then jumps forward to the 34-yard line. A pickup of one. Our drive summary brought to you by American Family Insurance. Last two drives of that first half, Jake. Two totally different ways about it. Very deliberate, 92 yards in 12 plays, and then they were like lightning on the last one.
That's what makes them so dangerous. They're not a one-trick pony. They have the ability to be explosive and score on you quick, or they have the ability to slow it down and play big boy football running between the tackles. It's why I'm so high on Will Stein, why I believe he will be a candidate, a finalist for the Broyles Award. There's not one thing you can do to slow down the Oregon offense.
Third down, and he had him wide open. Gary Bryant couldn't turn his head around in time. It's fourth down.
I guess the only thing that could slow him down is themselves. Gary Bryant just got tripped up running this little whip route. You see him just picking himself up off the turf there. It was wide open. Had he stayed on his feet, that would have been an easy first down with some room to run, but no dice.
So both teams on their opening drives of the second half will have to punt. And he's going to run. Ferguson Reynolds picks up the first down, and the drive stays alive for the Ducks.
So, Jeff, I don't think this was a called fake on the sideline. This is what happens when you run these boots and half boots. You ask your punter to just read it. In Oregon State, they completely vacated the area. Watch this hole. It parts like the Red Seas. I believe that's number 44, Tuioti, the defensive end that had a nice edge sealing block. And Ferguson Reynolds, that's a dream come true for a punter, having a nice carry.
See the run pass option a lot, but what about the run punt option?
Yeah. Well, he said, hey, the Oregon Ducks are averaging like 7-8 yards a carry. He wanted to get in on that number.
Drive stays alive. Davison, wow, churning those legs, close to a first down. They'll give him 9 on first down. For Oregon State's defense, they thought they were off the field. They're right back on it.
Yeah. And that's what we've been saying, right? It's the self-inflicted wounds there. Oregon was going to punt that. But the Beavers were just completely out of position.
Davison with another carry. Now, Jake, we have not seen Noah Whittingham yet. Did not play in the game last week against Northwestern. Was questionable coming into the game. But this stable of running backs is so deep. They're still running the ball very efficiently without Whittingham.
Yeah, and it sounded like Noah Whittington was practicing, and I'd expect him to play against Penn State. He's the leader in this group. He's their starting back. He's the veteran, but it showcases the depth and the talent that Oregon has in the backfield.
Uh-oh, first sack of the year.
First sack of the year. Again, this is Oregon State's defensive line is not really known for getting pressure on the quarterback, and Alex Harkey was kind of pulling around. He was tasked to seal that edge. And Takari Hickle was able to get momentum upfield initially before he was even touched and just worked through a soft edge to sack Dante Moore.
2nd and 19. Harrison motion. Moore complete to Sadiq. Sadiq still on his feet. And it's a first down. Ball was out. Was able to land on it. mark him down at the 16-yard line after a pickup of 23.
He has true rare traits. He's a first-round talent, in my opinion. Soft hands, but look at that drop step right there. That's something you're coached to do at a high level. Dante puts it on his outside shoulder, and he's able to turn upfield, but that end of the play is key. When you think about if Oregon State's going to pull off this upset, they got to force a turnover. And a near turnover there, Sadiq was able to fall on his own fumble.
Harris gets the carry. Driven backward by Dexter Foster. Emmanuel Pregnon ran off the field, starting left guard. Helmet may have popped off momentarily.
He's played outstanding. I love the double teams in the middle between Pregnon and...
Nice pitch to the outside. Harris wrapped up, however. Ankle tackle that time.
To watch him and Poncho, their center, number 75 and 72. Those guys get nasty in the middle and create a ton of movement. 320 pounds, Poncho, 330 pounds. A lot of beef.
Bryant, the motion man. 3rd and 7 for the Ducks. Pressure coming. Moore feels it. End zone. Touchdown, Ducks. Jeremiah McClellan finds the end zone for the first time.
And oftentimes behind every explosive play, it starts with protection, especially the running back. Oregon State is bringing pressure. You see that pressure coming from up top, and that's a freshman, number 0, Jordon Davison, stepping up and stoning the blitz. And then a nice route on the post right here by McClellan, number 11. Dante Moore, accurate, right in the face mask.
An Oregon State player down after the touchdown. We'll check on him in just a moment. Following the touchdown from Oregon, freshman corner Trey Glasper walked on his own volition over to the medical tent. This was the play on the touchdown, and his body just contorts in a number of different ways.
Yeah. Like his arm was maybe like caught underneath McClellan. That did not look pretty, but thankfully, yes, he did walk off under his own power.
Hurek able to kick the extra point through. It's 28-7. We'll be back to Autzen in a moment. And scary way his body folded up in the end zone on that last touchdown. Oregon scoring on 3 straight drives. This game was 7-7. And Oregon has asserted themselves with their offense. We'll see if Oregon State can put a drive together with their offense. They've had some open greenery, just had some missed opportunities. Another touchback.
Yeah, guys, Dakorien Moore came off of the field, and he appeared to be uncomfortable. He was bent over. The trainers walked with him over to the bench and was feeding him Pedialyte, some other fluids, and he seems like he's a lot better now. But you got to remember, guys, it's beautiful out here, but it's still really hot. The guy's got to stay hydrated. I'll keep an eye on him and let you know what else.
All right, thanks so much, Brooke. Chewing on something over there. Handoff to Hankerson. Hankerson hit Aaron Flowers with the stop. 2nd down and 8. Murphy to throw, trying to set up the screen, and it's blown up by that defense from Oregon.
Keeping it out by number 50, Gray. Remember, no free lunches. Now another 3rd and long situation for Oregon State.
Set the screen again, and it falls incomplete. Hankerson was the intended receiver. Murphy had heat on him.
Out in front of him, I think there was only one Oregon Duck in the area. They were able to complete that, likely a 1st down and much more.
Oh, good punt. Bryant, returnable Bryant up the seam. Bryant still on his feet and hammered at the 35-yard line. Return of 18 from Gary Bryant. Over 600 band members between Oregon and Oregon State performed the national anthem before the game today. Total yards since the beginning of the 2nd quarter dominated by Oregon. Slipped to the outside, Benson, and he is dropped. Total domination from the Ducks. And their defense has stepped up.
Yeah. Their offense is almost, it's like a tsunami wave, a tidal wave. It's just inevitable that they're going to put up points.
There's a screen to the tight end, Johnson. Johnson across the 35-yard line and near midfield.
Usually that's Kenyon Sadiq in there at tight end, but that time it's Jamari Johnson, the transfer from Louisville, who they've been excited about. The coaching staff has talked about him. Not a lot of opportunities on the season with Sadiq being the tight end one, but a nice tight end screen there.
I jumped you by a play. Davison takes the sweep. Be a first down for Oregon. Moore stacked on the bottom of the formation. Goes in motion. Handoff. That's Lamar, and he is brought down. Touchdown saving tackle by Mason White. Doesn't matter who the running back is, Jake. This offensive line is opening hole after hole for any of these Ducks.
It's relentless. It's like a hockey team, just a line change, and then in comes another stud running back, and Noah Whittington, he's their RB1. He's not even playing.
Moore checks it down to Lamar, who makes the catch. He's got first down, hurdles a man, and gets out of bounds. What is it about us? We always see a Duck hurdle somebody.
I got to talk to their strength coach to get my vertical up in the offseason. Apparently these guys all have big-time jumps. They're trying to run a little bit of a trick play here, but Lamar just kind of settled in as the check down for Dante Moore, but that's not a check down. That's an explosive play waiting to happen. Just give the ball to your running back, Jaden Lamar, and that Beaver defender was standing straight up. I mean, that must have been 4 feet in the air.
Morgan to pass. Moore running out of time. He's going to run. He's got the corner. And Moore run out of bounds at the 10-yard line. First down and goal. They marked him at the 8-yard line. Davison and Hill, two running backs behind Moore. Handoff goes to Hill. Slips a tackle. He's inside the 5.
That's the future of the Oregon Ducks backfield. The two freshmen standing to either side of Dante Moore. They're selfless. That time Davidson didn't have the carry, but he was asked to block, and you heard the pop of the freshman running back as he led De'Aaron Hill up through the hole.
Thunder and lightning, fire and ice, whatever you want to call them, that is definitely the future of Ducks running back room. It's impressive what those two guys have been able to do so far. Davison, the lone setback now. Chewing up clock, coming up on the 2-minute mark, and we've got movement on that offensive line. Looked like the right tackle, Harkey.
False start, offense, number 77, 5-yard penalty, second down. Correction, number 71.
I was going to say 77 wasn't on the field, but I was going to trust him.
Alex Harkey's like, what the heck? Thought he got away with one.
Moore's going to run again. Moore leans forward back to that 5-yard line. Ripping that jersey apart. That's 5 yards worth of tail on it.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask Davison to pick up the rest of his jersey. It's right behind him.
Yep. Such impressive patience this entire drive by Dante Moore and Will Stein.
On third down, Moore going end zone, incomplete. Saliapaga.
Saliapaga, a sophomore tight end, not a guy whose name we've called a ton throughout the season, especially with the talent of Kenyon Sadiq, and saw Jamari Johnson on that drive, but Will Stein not afraid to mix it up with exotic personnels and formations. That time they gave Saliapaga, the sophomore tight end, a chance on the back shoulder. Couldn't complete it.
24-yard try for Sappington. And it's up and good. 24 unanswered points for the Oregon Ducks. Saliapaga just chilling with the duck here after he misses this one. Glad he can catch some rays. Get to work. Oregon did a heck of a job in their first year in the Big Ten Conference. 8 Big Ten Conference championships, most in program history within any conference. Football won the Big Ten title Fair catch called for. Oregon State goes back on offense. Malik Murphy having a tough day. There have been some openings for him, but missed opportunities.
Yeah, it's one of those days where you need to be just about perfect, and you need some help from the other side, and it just hasn't been that day. Had a few nice drives there early in the game, but they've just stalled out really since then. Bring it back into this game.
Murphy pulls it out. He's going to throw it. He's going deep. Incomplete. Just blowing at his back had anything to do with that. Getting a quarterback in there. Bryant Johnson jumps back in his second play of the game.
We saw it earlier. They love the design quarterback runs with Bryant Johnson, but I wonder, do we see a play action off of that? A tendency breaker today in the rivalry game. That's what I might expect to see here.
Johnson to throw to the outside. Incomplete. Get your dancing shoes on, Jake. I know you're ready.
I want to see his dancing shoes. Uyunglele there on the edge.
Fumbled snap. Johnson throws it. It's complete. Caulfield upended at the 31-yard line. 4th down and 4.
That's Dalen Autzen. He's 199 pounds. Coming up on Caulfield, who's 245 pounds. So a safety, a star kind of nickel on a big tight end, and a nice tackle by Dalen Autzen. That as a tight end, you know, they dive right into your thighs.
Spoken from experience. Ooh, almost got home on the punt. Dakorien Moore is back to receive it. Moore's got it. There's a bunch of Beavers right in front of him. Oregon's back at it. 5 seconds to go in this third quarter. And then we shout it up. My favorite things to do when you get here to Autzen Stadium. See the crowd go nuts, and even the players get involved in it. 4 straight scoring drives for the Ducks offense. Handed off Davison. Left side. Couldn't get out of the grasp of the defender, Skylar Thomas. We'll be back. One of the great traditions in college football, shout in Autzen. That is how we begin the fourth quarter. First play of the fourth quarter for the Ducks. Handed off. That's Hughes. Hughes down the left side. Across midfield. His first big burst as a Duck.
It's just so scary that Mekhi Hughes, who I thought was one of the best football players in all of America, that is his first big carry as an Oregon Duck, Jeff, and it speaks to the depth of this Oregon running back room, but credit once again to the Oregon offensive line creating a nice big hole for Mekhi Hughes to run up through.
1,400 yards with Tulane last year. Oregon now up to 225 rushing yards in the game. Moore to pass. Moore going deep. He's got Bryant. Gary Bryant, end zone. Touchdown Ducks.
Such a beautiful scheme by Will Stein. I'll start making the case now. Will Stein for the Broyles Award. Jeff, right on cue, you mentioned the dominant running game for Oregon. And that time they showed you a look with the motion. Watch this motion come through. Looks like it might be a jet sweep to Jaden Lamar, the running back that's had so much success today. And you see Dante right there at the top of his route. No doubt where he was going to. Number 2, Gary Bryant Jr. There's no safety in the middle of the field, and it's because of that jet sweep motion.
Good job by the holder, putting it down. Ferguson Reynolds. A dime from Dante Moore. Having a great day in his revenge game against Oregon State. This time as a Duck. Dante Moore with almost 300 yards through the air. He's got 4 touchdown passes today. It's been a very balanced attack per usual for Oregon. Over 500 total yards. 282 passing, 225 rushing. With all the guys that they lost last year to the NFL draft, that's what Dan Lanning said to us in week 1. He said we may be deeper than we were a year ago.
I didn't believe him at first, honestly, but it's certainly there on tape.
In and out of the hands of Trent Walker. And then Oregon's offense put the throttle down. Caught by Wells. Gain of 5. 3rd down and 5 for the Beavers. Just haven't been able to put those drives together against this Oregon defense. Murphy to pass again, and it's incomplete, almost picked. Obidegu got his hands on it, couldn't secure it. 4th down for Oregon State.
It almost looked like it caught him off guard. He was driving on the out route, and you see that the ball was really, really off target. He was targeting Durant. Murphy was trying to target Durant, so Obidegu's driving on it, but it was so off target, it almost caught him off guard that the ball landed right in his lap.
Moore back again. Moore going to the sideline and out of bounds near the 40-yard line. Hardest working player, Jake. Liberty Mutual Assurance. Dante Moore having a career night.
Very fitting award to hand this to Dante Moore. How about those 53 rush yards, too? It's just a silent part of his game that goes unnoticed. Usually it's just his pocket presence, movement, and awareness, but today he's turned it on with his feet. And as we mentioned just a little bit ago, how many different guys do you see him targeting downfield? He doesn't have a favorite guy. All of them are his favorite guys.
You're my favorite. You're my favorite. No, you're my favorite.
The open guy appears to be his favorite. And he finds a way to get it there. Tight spiral, accuracies, the total package.
Handoff goes to Hill, left side. Hill almost stayed on his feet. Gets the 49-yard line. If he's able to survive the hurdle, he's off to the races.
I'd say that's the one thing missing from Oregon's offense today. There's no explosive run, but they've been close a number of times.
The longest run of the day belongs to Dante Moore. Hand it off again. Shuffles forward for a 1st down. 8 players with 2 or more touchdowns on the season for Oregon. It's not just one superstar. They've got a ton of them.
And just think, think about it like this. It's a battle of resources. You have 20 hours each week to game plan. So for Trent Bray and whoever's the defensive coordinator playing against Oregon, you'd love to have it simple and say, this is the one thing we need to take away from the opponent. There is no one thing to take away from Oregon. They do everything well.
Moore is trying to get it to Dakorien Moore, and a flag is down.
We're going to get rough in the passer.
Holding. Offense, number 76. 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
Oh.
There's a hold and then a push. Outside Bryant trying to make a move and drag down.
Or look at the defensive shell right here. It's single high safety. I wonder if they take a shot and go at him in the back end.
Moore to pass. Oh, Johnson, a nice job picking up that block. There's a catch. Got a flag down.
Illegal block in the back. Offense, number 9. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
There's some heat on Dante Moore.
Good eye, Jeff. Good eye. There's the action right there. I mean, he's had his hand on the back of the defender, so.
Dakorien Moore in the bottom of the formation.
Corner blitz, no?
Moore. Miscommunication. Dakorien stopped. Third down 27. How about your tight ends, Jake?
There's some really good ones in this conference, and none better, as we've said a number of times today, than Kenyon Sadiq. He's the total package. Marlon Klein for Michigan, replacing Colston Loveland, has been a big piece of their offense. Lake McCree, so many weapons out there at USC. He's one of the explosive ones. And then Luke Reynolds, 5-star freshman last year, coming alive in that Penn State offense. And I thought the competition would be between Max Clare and Sadiq as the best tight end in the conference, but Sadiq has really separated, and Clare just hasn't quite had the opportunities in that dynamic Ohio State offense with all the weapons they have.
Third and forever. They run the draw play. Trying to spin out of it was Jay Harris. He'll pick up a few yards. The second longest run of the day. His longest punt this season is 39 yards.
And if there's one thing our producer Bart Fox loves, it is a punter graphic. So that was special for you, Bart Fox.
He kicks this one a low line drive. That's going to stop at the 4-yard line. That looked like a 2-iron off of his foot. Great shots from our drone. High top Autzen Stadium. I don't know, that hair doesn't look natural. From the 4-yard line. Handed off up the middle. Cornell Hatcher. And they're 10 minutes away from getting 0-4.
He's down.
They've got some pieces that they like.
Try to establish an identity and figure out who you want to be going forward, because there is an amazing opportunity with that new Pac-12. As you mentioned, some of the teams, it's going to be a very competitive conference with a playoff spot or spots potentially on the line.
Murphy to pass over the middle. He's got his man Caulfield with the catch and run near the 35-yard line. Mark him down at the 33. It is worth noting that these two teams have played every single year since 1945. Now, they are not going to play each other next year.
Yeah.
But they will in 27, and the series will go on for 5 more years after that. But these two teams are not going to play next year.
What are these fans going to do next year? I mean,
it's going to be a lot of pent-up angst.
Yeah.
But great to see that the two schools could come to an agreement earlier this week to extend the series. I know they won't play next year, but starting in 27, agreeing to play every season through 2032. Fans making their way to downtown Eugene. Still got a bunch of folks watching the end of this one. Now that is the perfect shirt for today. Half Oregon State. The last 3 quarters have been dominated by Oregon. Jabari Johnson in at quarterback for the Beavers. And a fumble, ball's down. Ducks have it. Bear Alexander jumped on it.
For Big Bear Alexander. Just a quarterback, running back mishap, not on the same page. And when you talk about opportunities, Bear Alexander is making the most of his opportunity here in Eugene for the Oregon Ducks, a guy that's had quite the journey, a 5-star in high school, highly touted recruit. Had never quite experienced his ceiling, but there's something about Dan Lanning, there's something about this Oregon Duck culture that extracts the maximum value out of these players. We highlighted Malik Benson, the wide receiver, earlier. The quarterback journeys. Jordan Birch is another example. It's just something about this culture, Jeff, that these transfers realize their full potential.
Hughes gets the carry.
He's down, guys.
Keeps those legs chugging near the 20-yard line.
It's going to be a massive test. I mean, It's not a season-defining test because one loss doesn't mean anything in this world of college football, but next week on the road, Happy Valley, night game, whiteout.
Sideline, toe tapping out of bounds, Hughes.
We live in where Mekhi Hughes is the guy that they bring in to spell their running backs in the fourth quarter. This guy has nearly 2,000 yards after contact in his career. Great contact balance, bounces off guys, breaks a ton of tackles, and as you highlighted there, Jeff, light feet down the sidelines. And right now, Oregon bringing in a ton of extra beef, extra offensive linemen. They got fullbacks down on the field, multiple tight ends.
Timeout, Oregon, their first of the half. 30 seconds.
Allstate Good Hands, sponsored by Allstate. Malik Benson with the good hands today.
Fitting good hands moment for Malik Benson. It must be fun playing wide receiver in this offense. It must be fun playing wide receiver when Dante Moore is your quarterback, because he's going to give you a chance to show off those good hands.
Got the beef in there now. Handed off to Hughes. Hughes wrapped up by a slew of Beavers. Running again with Hughes, and he's wrapped up in the backfield.
You got Dante Moore's stats down here at the bottom right of the screen, right by that green O. And it made me think, I think we're going to see Dante Moore as a Heisman finalist this year. I think he's going to continue the trend. Bo Nix to Dylan Gabriel to Dante Moore. Let's see, it looks like they're going to have a chance to add to those stats, potentially a throw. They got numbers out to the left.
Moore is going to go right. And incomplete, no flag. Kyler Casper was the intended receiver. 4th and goal, they're going to go for it.
That's Casper, number 2 receiver up top there, Jeff.
And now a flag comes in.
Delay game, offense, number 5, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Right down the gut.
As you were giving some credit to Dante Moore there, and Will Stein said his mind is just limitless. He told me Dante works through his reads like a veteran. Jake, you mentioned Bo Nix, Dylan Gabriel, and every now and then you'll see those Mahomes-type moments where you just wonder, wait, how did he make that throw? But when Stein loves most is just his humility. Dante's always asking questions, never acting like he has all the answers, and he keeps it real with his teammates, demanding a lot of them, but in a way that they really respond to.
Look, I think that's a really good point, because every great team, every championship team, there's an element of leadership, but leadership doesn't always have to look the same way. You know, Bo Nix, kind of an aggressive guy, an outspoken guy. Dylan Gabriel, a different style, and then in comes Dante Moore, who's got his own complete style. I think what you said there is key, demanding a lot from his teammates, but the foundation is the teammates know that he cares about him. He's also a guy that gained a ton of respect by the choices he made last year to come to Oregon, to sit on the bench, to learn behind Dylan Gabriel. And now he has the keys to this offense and the keys to the program, and he's just been everything that they hope to see and more.
Greg Hurrick kicks it through the back of the end zone for another touchback. And you bring up a great point with just the maturity to have the wherewithal to come here. Know that you're going to have an opportunity at some point, but to maintain the patience to get better.
It's like the opposite of what is going on in the transfer portal. You know, most guys are entering the transfer portal looking for like a quick fix or the best short-term opportunity, and Dante had the maturity as a freshman, coming off a frustrating freshman season at UCLA. I think everybody expected him to go somewhere where he could start right away. But he came to Oregon, and wow, that's a big hit there in the middle. But he came to Oregon and said right away he wanted to develop. He chose Oregon because he felt it was the best place for him to develop into his full potential. And we're seeing that full potential so far this fall.
He told us week 1, it's more important to play well, not how quick you play and how fast you play.
Great point.
4.5 minutes away with his Ducks going to Happy Valley. Murphy with the screen, and he throws it off the foot of his offensive lineman as we look ahead to next week for Oregon. They've had this one circled for a while. Oregon at Penn State in a whiteout.
Man, if you're a fan of college football, that's the game. You should clear out your schedule, whatever you're doing next Saturday night. Oregon, Penn State will be very, very revealing. I played in those whiteout night games. It's the best environment in college football. You can't hear a thing. So when you talk about Dante Moore's leadership, it's going to be tested. Communication will be hard. The offensive line's communication will be hard. Penn State, maybe they've looked a little shaky to start the season. I'm of the belief, though, they've been holding things back. Oregon is going to get Penn State's best shot. We'll see two of the best teams in college football next Saturday night.
Murphy with pressure on him, gets it to the outside, and it's dropped. Trent Walker with a drop. He had a first down. Let it drop. Takes an Oregon State bounce inside the 25-yard line and nestles. Brock Thomas is going to come into this ball game. A kid who went to high school just 2 miles away from Autzen Stadium. Third-generation Duck football player. 2 for 5 on the season.
Another young man who I'm sure this rivalry means a lot to. Eugene, Oregon, on top of the legacy that you mentioned.
Wrapped up. And 3 things you need to know about Brock Thomas. Well, first, he's got great hair.
Yes.
And there's full numbers for him. 2 for 5, 14 yards in 3 ball games, and just a couple miles away. I mean, he could walk back to his old high school after the ball game tonight if he wanted to.
I agree with you, though. The hair, the wavy, looks well conditioned, well groomed.
Now, you're big into the product and the hair. With the fluff factor, that looked good.
Yes, it's important.
With Davison in motion, the handoff goes to DeJuan Riggs. Riggs on the sideline. Out past the 40-yard line. His first carry of the day is a big one.
What if I told you? He's a redshirt freshman, too. So he's got years of eligibility ahead of him. There is no relaxing. Nowhere to catch your breath when you're playing against this Oregon offense. They bring in the next running back, and then the next running back, and then the next running back. And it's just talent galore.
6 different ball carriers from the running back room today.
Approaching 600 yards.
And balance, too. 270 on the ground, 305 through the air. Riggs gets the carry.
He's this game. It started out a little slow, but then they took absolute control of this game. Now they can focus on the big game next week in Happy Valley.
We'll have post-game reaction coming up right after the game. Take you through the rest of the day in the Big Ten. Get you ready for this evening's activities as well. So lots to come as soon as you guys are done in Eugene. Jeff?
All right, thanks so much, Rever. 2 minutes to go, 41-7 Oregon. The balance is something we've talked about a lot, Jake, and they're doing it to a T today. Almost 600 total yards of offense. And they're within 19 yards of the same number of rushing yards and passing yards.
Yeah, and you said, look at that. It's not just today. It's who they are as an offense. It's who Will Stein is as a play caller. 250 and 250 in 3 of their 4 games. Speaks to the selflessness, too, because it takes all 11 to have a successful run game. It takes all 11 to have a successful pass game. And, you know, every guy strains for one another to put up those type of numbers.
Riggs gets the carry. Gang tackled after a pickup of maybe 2. Oh, see, no, I thought they were going to hug. Not today. No love between the mascots, the Duck and the Beav, Benny Beaver. This is going to be a first down, and that will cinch the ball game for the Oregon Ducks. And that time can wind down. Duck wanted no part of Benny Beaver today.
He's feeling confident after all those push-ups.
One kneel down from Brock Thomas. And that's going to do it. This rivalry will take a year off next year. It'll be the first time since 1945 that they don't play this rivalry game. They'll resume it in 2027 as the Ducks with an impressive 41-7 victory tonight, and they did everything that they wanted to do. All right, Brooke Fletcher's got Dan Lanning.
Coach, you told me how much this game really resonates with Dante Moore. How did you see him handle that challenge today?
Yeah, I thought he did some really good things. There's going to be some stuff that we can clean up. It's a dominant win. It's important for our guys to go out there and execute. Thought we did a lot that we can clean up.
Mention clean up. What do you think needs to be cleaned up?
Penalties for one. We gave 5. We did a much better job stopping the run in the second half and forcing the run in the second half. So that's the way I want to see us play throughout the year.
How do you make sure this team keeps that energy and focus as you gear up for a game versus Penn State?
I'm not worried about that. These guys will bring the juice.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Been a historic day in Eugene for Jake Butt, Brooke Fletcher, and our entire crew. I'm Jeff Levering saying so long from Autzen Stadium. Big Ten Live Game Break is coming up next. Good night, everybody.